I don't blame them. This game's fantastic. Right, welcome to Tony Hawk's Underground. I am English Ben.
I am Melis.
Broseph.
Hi guys.
Hi.
You ready to play some Tony Hawk's Underground? Well, you won't be playing, but are you ready to talk about some Tony Hawk's Underground?
I'm definitely ready, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Broseph, ready to talk about some New Jersey law?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Right. Epic. I forget if this one is the right one. Alright, yeah, it is. Alright, never mind. I just accidentally started the run, but that's fine. We can go back. We'll get him next time. Alright, let's do this setup again. We'll put the tunes back on. I like the tunes. There we go. And we'll start. We'll go back to big line. Big line. Perfect. Alright. Don't trash talk me for, playing beginner. It's the fastest one, alright? This game's about going fast, that's the point. Alright. Are we ready to go? Perfect. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you. Right, so Tony Hawk's Underground. It's basically the first Tony Hawk's game that has like a proper story to it. All the ones beforehand, like the Pro Skater series, were basically just, you get put in a level, you get a bunch of like goals that you can do, and then you get 2 minutes to go into the map. That's intentional, by the way. Trust me. Yeah, why not? Just go for it.
Shoshi19 donated $5.
God, that is
Hey
so
Ben,
loud.
we still only have collected $205. Do you think that you can get some donation speed and fun into stream too?
That is the loudest thing I've ever heard. Can you lower that, please? Yeah. I will do my best to get some donations in. I'll do my best. But yeah, so this is the first one with some proper lore. And essentially the TLDR of the story is you're a punk skateboarder who, we're Big Lion, that's the name of it, that's the name of the guy, Big Lion. He's like a 7 foot tall, absolute legend. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to try and become a professional skateboarder, along with our friend Eric Sparrow. Now Eric is not a very nice guy, and he slowly starts to become jealous of how good we are, because we're speedrunners, so we're ultimate chads. And he gets very jealous, he starts stealing footage from us, he gets us in trouble with the police, and he betrays us and all sorts of awful things. And then it comes to a big climax at the end where he starts throwing fireballs at us and becomes like basically a wizard. And we beat him at his own game, and that's it. So it's a really wacky story. It's a classic old Tony Hawk, old Tony Hawk fashion. But New Jersey is basically just essentially like a tutorial, so it's not too interesting until we get to the end. Right at the end, there's going to be 2 really cool skips. One of them is called Bridge Skip, which will it requires butt slaps. Do any of you two remember what butt slaps are? Can you guys explain that?
I can't explain the technique.
Look at me with a complete blank look on your face. All right, never mind. Butt slapping, right? So essentially what you do in this game is you go off a ledge and you do like something like a kickflip or just any like flip trick, and you then afterwards you like ollie a bunch of times, and that gives you like the multiple jumps worth of height in one jump, and that will allow us to break a load of goals later on, and we'll go more into that later. Also, if you saw, when I had the goal just then of basically the guys were like yelling out tricks, and it was all the same trick. That's because of a thing called catbag. Melis? Please tell me you remember this one.
Of course. Create a trick, broken ass game.
That's what it stands for. Create a trick, broken ass game. And essentially what it is I have a lot of I can't kickflip or heel flip or any of the things that you would assume. Instead, all I can do is as the crowd goes wild in the other room, or in the other section of the room, I guess Link has finally completed a trick at some point. I actually nailed something in his run. I say as I choke the butt slap, but it's fine. Yeah, we'll go more into catbag in a second because this is bridge skip, so I'll just try and nail this. Basically, we're gonna use a shuffle glitch to get our speed, and then butt slap all the way over this bridge from early. So yeah, got it. Nice, very nice, very nice. So yeah, catbag is essentially I have a load of created tricks all bound to the same one, and then when people do like do ones that are like, you know, I'm going to call out a bunch of tricks and you're going to complete them. Because I have like everything pretty much, like all grabs and all flips and stuff, bound to the same one, it's just going to ask me to do the same one again. So that's pretty much, there's a bit more to it, but there's a lot of things going on, and it's kind of hard to explain and play at the same time. So I'll try and go for a thing called Eric Skip here. This is a 3-frame window, and essentially what I need to do is just let go at the right time here, if the car will come. Alright, never mind.
Aww.
The car just nowhere to be seen there. So in this game, if you retry them, I'll give it one more try. But if you retry goals, they become harder in some sections. And this is now not a 3-frame window, but a 1-frame window. So I don't know if I'll be able to get it. No, okay. Unfortunate. But not a big deal, yeah. The audience is going mental in the background. I'd love to see you guys get Eric Skip. You know, it's hard. But essentially what would happen is if you let go at the right time, at the right frame, you would skip this section entirely, and it saves about 30 seconds, I think. You would just go straight all the way to the end. I'm not quite sure exactly why, just timing, like letting go at the right time, you know, achieves that. But it's one of the 2, like, super hard tricks in this game. The other one is, thankfully, all the way at the end. During, like, you know, world record attempts and stuff, it's really bad, because it's right at the end, and it's frame perfect. But it'll give me time to, you know, explain some more stuff on the way. So a couple of these are really simple goals. Manhattan actually has, like, you know, quite a few more tutorials. This one is just helping a student collect purse items. It wasn't until my good friend Adisic mentioned when he was watching me play this game one time to practice for this, just how many basically fetch quests there are. And he kind of opened my eyes to just how many, you know, like how much recycled content is in this game. But it's okay, it's still fun. I think the movement makes it really fun. So here we need to kill famous skate spots. But because we're playing on beginner, we don't need to get very many points at all. So like a 180 judo or a Maradona or anything will be more than enough. Unless you go up on there. That's not enough. That's also not enough, apparently. There we go, that's enough. So the reason I'll be boneless 180 judoing a lot is because in this game, if your special meter is full, you move faster on flat ground. There's a few other things that affect it, like stat points and stuff like that. You can max out like your speed stat, for example, and that's just how fast you're going, like, you know, on flat ground the same. So you can add like all those together to get quite a big, you know, speed advantage as you go along. So basically, the reason we boneless 180 judo is because it's like essentially the fastest way to quickly get special. You can just do it, and then, you know, you're right back in there. So here you can also abuse a glitch that I think from memory is exclusive to Thug 1, but I don't quite remember. But it relies on like traffic cycles. So, but I'll explain it anyway, and then, you know, if it doesn't happen to work out, then it's whatever. But when you sketch cars in this game, if you let go and then like keep grinding to maintain your speed, you actually get way more speed than like you ever would usually. So is the van going to come? Yeah, I'll wait for the van just to show it. So, and also vans and cars and whatever else, they move faster when you're sketching them. So sometimes it's good to wait for something like this, and you can sketch it all the way. So I'll let go here. I'm going to power slide back, and I'm going to keep grinding. And as you can see, my speed is just going to like increase a lot for a few seconds, which is quite nice. It doesn't seem significant, but it's nice on, you know, places where you're just going in a straight line. It's really convenient. So we're going to abuse Catbag here. Usually you would have to get special and do a nutbuster, but instead, if I can do the inputs correctly, it's kind of tough to do it on flat ground. You just do a nutbuster with Catbag, because I've already set that up previously, which is nice. And then also abuse Catbag here, because it's just going to ask us to do shifties across the taxi. So we're heading to the next section of Manhattan, and these are the last 2 goals before we go into Tampa. Tampa is where the essentially, if I can stop grinding this. I didn't realize how hard it would be to talk and play at the same time. I should have probably, you know, done a bit of practicing and talking to myself when I did this. Yeah. But yeah, essentially, it's going to be the amateur skateboarding competition, which is where, you know, you meet Tony Hawk and you show that, you know, you're really good. And this is where you kind of like get your foot in the door in terms of the story of this game. First, we're just going to do a couple more bonuses. You can catbag bonuses too, but it's a lot more inputs and it's very difficult. And then here, instead of going up in the air, if you time it right, you can just head into the ramp, which is nice. So yeah, the first half of Tampa is really interesting. It is there's quite a lot of good movement involved. You like a lot of the goals require you to travel. Like this one requires you to pretty much like go all the way around the map in a circle, basically, which is you know, good to explore. But then the second half is a bunch of competitions, and the first set of competitions are good because you can end them whenever. Like as soon as you get enough points, you can just end them. But the other ones, you just have to wait. So there's one point where there's just going to be 3 minutes of just chilling. Also, for some reason, I forget why, but in like the lore of this game, in Tampa, you do a lot of like work for the police, and then the police get really angry at you, and you're forced to drive around in a cop car to essentially like basically escape. And the problem is that the driving in this game, if you couldn't tell by when I was driving that like green sports car right at the start, it's like it's really difficult to drive in this game. Like the physics are basically just like modified skateboard physics made by like an intern on day one, so they're really not good. Sometimes if you're lucky here, you can skitch and abuse that like speed glitch that I showed earlier, but unfortunately we're never lucky this time. So here's a bit where you drive, and not only this, when you're driving around with this awful controls, but also as you'll see there, the cops pull up at the speed of sound and then just have like the best brakes on the planet, and will just stop and like block you immediately. Which, if you know where you're going, it's fine because you can dodge them anyway. But otherwise, like if you're playing casually, they'll just like teleport in front of you. Like this guy, it's a really tight gap, and that guy just comes out of nowhere. Like there's like a siren for like a second beforehand, but it's not nearly enough to slow down, especially with these horrendous controls. As you can see, it's like difficult to even keep on 4 wheels sometimes. So you head over here and you ditch the car. Let's see if we can get in there. Yeah, there we go. And that apparently, now you've ditched that car, the police don't really care about you anymore. It's quite similar to GTA. Like the police just, you get rid of any evidence and they're like, yep, okay, bye. So a bit more of cat bag abuse there. This is a really weird goal. The guy just goes basically, I bet you can't wall plant that bridge, and we go, bet we can, and then we do it, and he's like, wow, it's amazing. And then we do a bunch more stuff to prove that we're worthy of getting into the amateur skate competition. I think in terms of the story from memory, Eric actually like steals your spot, but then you end up getting in anyway. So Tony Hawk wants to see some tricks with us. And then this is just a minute of chilling, because you have to beat Tony's score, but he doesn't get very much on beginner. So we're just going to spend it getting some stats. They're not super useful and they don't really make much of an impact, but there's no reason not to get them. Yeah, go for it. I hope it's not too loud too.
Archie donated $5. How long can you play skate games before you get bored?
Oh my god.
How long
Archie.
can I play skate games before I get bored? That's a good question, honestly. Decent question. The answer is, because there's so many of them, there's so many Tony Hawk games now. Of course, not the new ones, because the new ones are awful. But the older ones are really good, and they have a lot of replay value. So I would argue that they're worth playing. Yeah, you can go for it.
Counterpillow donated $10. Avril Lavigne would be proud of you, skater boy.
Thank you very much, Counterpillow. That's very kind of you. So I'm going to try and mash here to avoid getting teleported. It didn't happen, unfortunately. I don't know if anyone's been paying attention. Well, I guess I'll mention these competitions as well. These are just like the good competitions. It's just a best out of 3, but you don't have to land the tricks that you're doing. So you can just do that, and as soon as you get the points, you can end it, as long as you don't bail it. And then on the last one, you can actually just not do anything, because it's the best 2 out of 3. But I did it anyway, because it's difficult to talk and play. So we did the same thing here. As soon as we get it, we just end it. And then this one, we can just, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then we go into the auto-scrollers. But yeah, so there's quite a lot of text boxes in this game, and if you mash on the right frame, you can skip a lot of them. And some of them have like cutscenes after that, like 3 or 4 seconds at a time. So if you skip a lot of them, you can actually end up saving a lot of time in the run. There'll be one that we'll do here in a second, where we'll go to a certain spot, and we'll be able to basically smack our head underneath like a railing, and that allows us to get like a lot of inputs in each time. But for now, we can just kind of skate around, explore the map, and just chill for 2 minutes. So, Melis, how are you enjoying the event?
I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I was gonna be.
Why did you not think you were going to enjoy the event?
I'm sorry, what?
Why did you not think you were going to enjoy the event?
Oh, I did think I was gonna enjoy it, but I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it this much. It's way more professional and...
Wait, did you think it was not going to be professional?
Maybe.
Are you about to expose the stream right now?
No, it's perfect. It's amazing.
It's perfect. I agree. How about you, Broseph? How are you enjoying it?
I cannot hear a word you're saying, actually.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
stream
your
one
voice is really low.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Impossible to hear.
How are you enjoying the event?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, great to hear. How is the crowd enjoying the event? You guys all having fun? Did I hear some boos there? How dare you? That's what I thought. Yeah, keep cheering, keep cheering.
He's going to come back there and bully you.
Yeah, I mean, I said earlier, 3 minutes is more than enough time to go and start swinging in the audience. Yeah. I guess I can show one more quick little thing. This is near where you go to do the text box skip. But there's also a police officer doing some rather mischievous things here. Just checking out the goat. Bit
Are you
weird
sure?
chat, isn't it?
Are you sure this is okay to show on stream?
I mean, it's in the game. So
Sure.
if people in San Andreas can say the N-word every 45
true.
seconds,
That's
then
a good point,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure this guy can like Fortnite dance behind the goat. I don't think there's any problem with that. So there's no text box here, so there's no point in mashing. And then this is just like the final round, 1 minute. They say best trick, but it's not actually best trick. It's actually like a jam contest because all of your score matters. So I don't know why they say it's a best trick contest, but we just get a lot of points. And then we'll just head back towards where the police officer was being a weirdo. And this is usually a point where I just read Twitter or something during it. But essentially here, you just stand here, and as you can see, I can like jump and get a lot of mash inputs in between. So that's what I'll be waiting for. And as I say, you can save maybe 15 seconds throughout the run if you get a lot of them. This is probably the one that saves the most time thinking about it. It's probably 3 or 4 seconds. A lot of them sometimes only skip one bit of text, which is nothing. It's a second at most. So once we're done here, we're going to head into San Diego. San Diego has a lot of really good goals and one really bad one, which I'll get into later. Not a big fan of San Diego. So I'll start mashing now. Didn't get it, but usually you can skip this, just the bit where the guy's clapping. We skip through all this. Join Birdhouse, doesn't matter which team you join.
Let's get some photos for your first.
And then this first goal here, as you'll see in a second, if you look at the top right, the game now just says temp, because it doesn't really know what to do because of catbag. There is some technical reason why that happens. It's something to do with how the game handles strings, but I don't quite remember it. Also, I'm kind of floating at the end there. If you get off your board and do what I did, it basically just stops the long animation of you slowing down. So you just kind of float for a bit instead. And then there'll be another opportunity to get a text box skip after this goal. This is just a really simple bit of text skating. And there'll be another one where they call out the tricks, and we'll be able to get some stats and stuff as well. So this one, it'll call out the tricks, but it'll all be shifties. So as long as we do a shifty like that, then we can just do some grabs, get some nice stats, and then we just chill until 32 seconds on the clock. And we're gonna wait until basically we're stood about here, where I'm stood now, and we're gonna try and skip through the text box again, because if you don't, it teleports you back away further down the line, and then you have to teleport back with the goal menu like that, which is unfortunate. Not getting these text box skips, but they are quite hard to be fair. So this is a nice instance of butt slapping. If you aim this at the right angle, instead of climbing back up, you can turn around and just butt slap all the way back up, which is nice, and just hop back down again. And then here is the first instance of I don't even know if there's a name for this, but essentially, as you'll see here, sometimes the game struggles to count things. So we wall plant this, and then we just restart the goal, but it just counts anyway, so we don't have to go back. And then as long as we keep in a combo, we can just bonk into the rest of them. Like this. And I unfortunately lost the combo, but we got 4 out of 5. And it avoids you having to wall plant them for some reason. Again, no idea. I should probably ask, like, before I do runs like this, like, why all this stuff happens. I just know that it happens. I learned to not, you know, question this kind of stuff. And then we hop over the wall there to, like, I say death warp, it's not really death warping, because you don't die. It's just, like, bail warping. To teleport to the next goal, which is right next door. And then once we finish this, we have another horrific driving section, but with, like, the police's cart that they're using to, like, escort our stuff. So we steal it, and then they steal it back afterwards. And the goal afterwards is the one that I mentioned before, which is, like, a horrendous goal. So essentially what it is usually you would be skitching the back of this, and you would be moving left and right depending on where, like, the security guards are. You dodge left and right to avoid them, and then you just wait down a timer. But the strat is that if you skitch and then jump and then re-skitch it constantly, every time you do that, it will tick down 1 second on the timer. And if you do it fast enough, it can take you less than 1 second. So, but the problem is that if you mistime it even slightly, the guy just drives off without you. And then you have to catch up and you lose a bunch of time. So, I'll show you it here. So you start skitching, then you immediately get off and just do this over and over again. And just hope he doesn't drive off with you. Like, this is difficult to a point where even the world record holder, Rushy, like, struggles with this one for him not driving away. So, and you have to do it like 30 times, I think, in quick succession. And as long as you don't get to where the the guards are when he drives off, then that's fine. So this is pretty good. That was good. I'm happy with that. Thank you, thank you. Wow, the crowd loves me again, just like that. That's all it took. No more boos, amazing. Baited for that exact response. You all just got played. Alright, so last thing, just collecting some stickers. Kids love the stickers, you know. How do you do, fellow kids? I don't know about you, but I actually kind of hate stickers. Like, I just absolutely despise stickers. They don't, like, do anything. And people stick them on all sorts, and then they, like, you know, get old or whatever, and they don't come off anymore. It's terrible. Hate stickers. Okay. Hate stickers, just to let you know.
Thanks for sharing.
Permanent vandalism, basically.
Yeah, exactly, right? So this is another, like, yell out the tricks, but they, all they do on easy is they just do 50-50s, 5-0, and nose grinds. So once you've done all of those three on the rail, and you get the gap, which you can see, like, it's a high gap there, you just wait until 30 seconds, and then just land the combo. And then here is just a really simple 180 judo, mix it up. Oh, I messed it up, never mind. 180 judo, mix it up, cat bag. That's enough score. So moving on to Hawaii. Hawaii has a trick which basically it looks like you're losing time until later, but I'll explain it as I go. So we're gonna head up this tree to where the next objective is. But instead of going back down to like where the third one is, we're gonna hop here, and we're gonna line ourselves up and grind all the way up here to the hotel. Now there isn't a lay here at the hotel, but we're gonna make sure our feet land on the hotel, and then we're gonna go to the third. So you may be asking yourself, like, why are you doing that? It doesn't make any sense. So essentially, now we've put our feet on the top of the hotel like that, the door is permanently open to the top of the hotel. And we need to go to the top of the hotel for a few goals later on, where you'd have to, like, climb up to it. But we can just walk through the door now, so it does save time in the long run. There is a much harder strat that you can do that avoids it, but it's really hard, and I'm not very good at it, so I'm not going to do it. Also, the hitbox on this car, it's right at the back in, like, the boot. So you have to, like, power slide into all of these stands. Or the first three, at least. Which is kind of annoying. And then the goal after this one is another example of the game just not knowing how to count when you retry the goal. So you have to wall plan against this machine here, this, like, vending machine. So you do it once, you have to do it 3 times. You do it once, retry the goal, do it twice, and it's like, yep, good job on doing it 3 times. And then here, we usually have to climb up to the top, but we can just go through the roof door that we opened earlier, and acid drop into the wrong pool. Never done that one before, that was a big grimace. There we go. Hop in. Hey, someone pooped in the pool.
Ew.
That's hilarious. So here we impress some females with our skateboarding skills, or speedrunning skills, you know. What do you guys think about speedrunning?
It's pretty good.
Pretty amazing. No, I didn't ask you guys. You know, just relax, right? Yeah, I haven't got 50 commentators. So here you just need to make sure that you get all of the gaps and you do it in one combo. But as you can see, sometimes if you air out or just ride up like that, it just pushes you out of the half pipe for some reason, which is really annoying. So one last jump. Hopefully I get it. There we go. Nice. And then we hop across the high lines. This one is just crooked grinding across here. You're going to hop off really early and then catch it. This one is difficult. I'll explain it afterwards because it's quite difficult to do. Yeah, I went too early there. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm doing a cat back handstand. I'm going to grind the rail and then just catch the gap at the end. And if you time it well like that, then it just counts. Usually what you would have to do is you would have to actually handstand on your board all the way down. But we just grind, and as long as we cat bag it properly, then it counts all the way, which is nice. So this is the other goal where it's like telling you to climb all the way up, but we can just go, hello, we're here. And here is another bit where if I fail any of these goals, I'll kind of soft lock myself. Because essentially what happens is I have McTwist, which I need later on, bound to cat bag, right? But I don't have it bound as like a proper special trick. So if I fail any of these, it will tell me that I need to bind McTwist as a proper special trick rather than a cat bag. But I'm just going to use the cat bag instead and hopefully not fail. Perfect, yeah. So if I failed any of those, the game basically wouldn't let me continue until I rebound all my tricks, which would be really annoying. So I'm really glad that I didn't fail that, because it easily can happen. Sometimes you'll like, you know, make a small mistake and you'll instinctively retry the goal to get in a better position. You do that, it's over. Instant run dead. So here we're just going to hop across once we've done these tricks. And we're not going to use the goal menu too much here because all the guys are in quite convenient positions. So we start recording this guy after not using the goal menu again. Then as long as you're in his view, it doesn't kind of matter what footage you get. So ours is just going to be blocked by the wall. So you can't even see him skateboarding. But as long as you keep him in sight, that's all that matters. And we can just head straight to the next goal. So whoever gets that video footage that we just recorded of that guy skateboarding, not going to be very happy. Because that is not good footage. Just recording a wall the whole time. But yeah, they don't seem to care, which is good. And then this game starts teaching you how to flatland. Usually in Thug 1, and I think like Thug 2 and Thor as well, usually it would tell you like KP9 to press like A, for example. And sometimes it's kind of confusing because you don't know which ones are which. And I think Thor does it differently, but at least in Thug 1, it's difficult to exactly remember which ones are which. So when you do like a 2 rail, for example, you kind of have to like memorize them yourself. Whereas what I've actually done is I've gone into the launcher and I've gone ahead and changed my keyboard controls to the equivalent of like the key keys, but for my Xbox controller. So that allows me to just press the buttons that I see on screen, because I'm really lazy like that, and I'm too lazy to memorize, you know, the actual tricks that I need to do. So here we go from collecting T-shirts to guest passes. Odysseus will be screaming at home right now, talking about how many collectathons are in this game, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So we get the last of these. And then the last one is just getting, I think, like 25,000 points, so it's pretty easy. And then we do more driving, more horrific driving. This time in a limo. And the limo is like probably the worst one to drive. And not only that, but you have to traverse like a bunch of ramps, which makes it even worse. So we collect all these guys by just nailing them at full speed with our car, because apparently that's how it works. And we're going to smash into each lamppost like this, because it just gives you backwards momentum, so you can just reverse the rest of the way. You'll see that displayed a lot better. But yeah, heading down these ramps like into like the ice hockey arena, and then heading back up like this is extremely annoying. You just need to catch them like that. Because you can handbrake like that, but it's kind of annoying. So here we'll smack into the pole again, and we'll just use all of the backwards momentum to just look backwards and reverse in. So this map is really short. You just do a couple of competitions after warming up. But the 2 competitions, I would say, are like probably the hardest inputs in the game, if you don't count like the 2, you know, frame perfect tricks, because, yeah, they're difficult, but they're only like 1 or 2 inputs. Whereas this, it's a boneless 180 judo, and then you've got to Indy 900 in the air, like that, and you've got to press start and then end the run quick enough that you don't land and bail, but slow enough that that the trick actually counts. So I would say that, yeah, that's pretty hard. And in this one, you've got to do the same again, but with a manual in between. So 180 judo, manual, and then Indy 900 and immediately end it. And that gives you an awful lot of points. I've got the Indy 900 now, but it's fine. We'll just do it on the last one. Oh, never mind, I bailed. So that means I won't get in the top competition, unfortunately. But we'll do it again. If it lets me. The text box kind of carried over there, which confused me. It's fine. So, there we go. And then the last one is the same again. Never mind. I pressed the camera control button there by accident. It's fine.
Lift it.
Yeah, I absolutely goofed it. There we go. It's hard to play with this weird camera as well. There we go. So after all that goofing, I still somehow win the competition. Or come second. I think you're like scripted to come first or second. And Eric comes like, you know, basically like the other place that you don't get. So it comes down to you and him in the final. And then you just have to beat his score on this, which is really easy. And then just wait for the timer to run out. So I'll take a quick sip here. I don't know why you're clapping that, but alright. Very nice. Clapping for staying hydrated. Good choice. So now we've won that jam, we're officially a professional skateboarder. And we're gonna, you know, start off being a pro right. We're gonna do this really cool thing that we learned all the way right at the back, right at the start of the game. Spine transfer once, bam, that's it. That's the entire set of goals done on beginner. Because that's how easy this game is. And you go right into the next section. So here you collect your shoes or socks, and then you go and get your shoes. They're just chilling up here. I don't know why they're here. Absolutely not a clue. But thank you, lady, for keeping my shoes. And then we catch the bus, and we're off to Moscow. Where we'll meet a bunch of other pros. We'll do some nifty things. There's quite a few butt slap techs in Moscow, which is good. So this one is like grinding security cameras, I think. You just have to knock them all down. I forget why. The lore in this map is really strange. From memory, Chad Muska, who's like a professional skateboarder, steals a tank and gets you all arrested or something like that. And then they want to like kick you out of the country, so you end up like escaping using like your Russian, I don't know, the Russian like contact, I guess. It's really bizarre. As I say, the whole story is very weird. So this is where we unlock the next set of speed increase stats. So I'll just keep doing this all in a combo, even though I don't need to, just to make sure that we get enough points. As you can see, to get the 30,000 points, that'll give us all the speed increase that we need. And that's the last time we do that. So here you have to usually climb a ladder, but you can butt slap up if you do it right, and then catch it. Nice. Then just head straight to the bell. That opens the gate into the next section. Here you meet Rodney Mullen. You do a bit of flatland. You only have to do 2 sets. Yeah, go for it.
Makabaka donated $20, even naming his big lion, making it about height yet again. Cool story, Bob.
Cool story, Bob.
Anonymous donated $5. Is this no major glitches?
Is this no major glitches? I bet that's Nabnoob, even though he said anonymous. This is not no major glitches. This is plenty of glitches. If you run no major glitches in any game, you're weird. Fun fact.
Hey, what's the deal?
True. So here, just get some points. We can just hop across out there. And Eric's like, yeah, dude. Now we need to just get some points again. And we need to do a trick over Eric that's worth like X amount of points. So we just get the points and then wait here and just launch over him. And now that cutscene is where the tank gets stolen. And now everyone's angry at us. So when you skip the cutscene, like the game doesn't make any sense. But now everyone's really angry at us. And we need to get out of here. And on this next section, it's another case of the game just completely forgetting how to count. So each 360 is going to give us 1 rotation towards this, okay? Remember this. So we have to do 10, yeah? So I'm going to do a 720, which is 2 spins, then a 540, which is 1.5 spins, then 2 360s, which is 2 more spins, okay? So not nearly 10. Except the game gives me 13, and it instantly lets me pass it.
My friend.
Hello, my friend. Thank you to all the 3 people that enjoyed that. Thank you. So this is like the most boring goal in the game. It's more driving, and you just have to grab a bunch of Slav women and just bring them back to this guy for a party or something. So you're just driving this awful sedan and just driving girls back and forth. It's unfortunate because a lot of the goals, like the goal lists in these games, you can usually miss one, so you can like skip one that's the longest, right? But in this particular map, you have to do every single one of them because there's only 3 from memory. So it's unfortunate that this is like in the place that it is, because you have to do it no matter what. But maybe one day someone will find a way to like skip doing this because it's terrible. But find Tampa skip first. That's what the whole Thug 1 community soys over, is Tampa skip. Basically skipping the competitions at 3 minutes of auto-scrollers. So these are the last set of people here. You just grab them all in like a big line. There's 2 more on the way here, on the left, and then 1 on the way back, and that's thankfully everything done. So yeah, it's just like 2 minutes of driving, and it's just big sleep. And then we have the final goal, where we have to get our good friend pretty much everything. So he starts off with like needing aspirin for his headache, which is fair enough. And then he ends up wanting like every vitamin under the planet, raw eggs, and a bunch of other remedies. I should have maybe, you know, had some raw eggs when I wasn't feeling too well yesterday. Maybe it would have made me feel better. Maybe I should have sent, you know, Melis to the store and got me all this. Some good solid food. Let's see what else there is. I can't remember what there is here. Some toilet paper. Yep, could eat that. That'd be pretty good. Bowl of chili. Yeah, not a big fan of chili. Alright, so this final one, a lot of butt slapping. We're going to butt slap up here. Essentially, if you get spotted by a guard, it's, you know, they reset you back to the start. So instead, we're just going to try and butt slap over everything. So we butt slap here, and then if we just catch it, which is nice. Sometimes you can double butt slap, which is like a lower tier of butt slap. Basically, you don't get as much height. And then you have to do another butt slap over. But if you get that triple, which I just got there, you just, you know, it's all good. And you can just grab onto the ledge. Or sometimes even just grind it. So this is more cat bag. Usually you'd have to make a trick, but you don't have to because we already have it sorted. And then this is just collecting a few checkpoints, comboing the entire city. So if I like end this combo, the goal just fails. But it's not actually the entire city on easy. It's just to here. That's it.
For any of these other guys.
And then this one is quite RNG or luck based. So we do a bunch of shifties to kind of get rid of a lot. And then the rest is just pure invert tricks or lip tricks. So as you can see, we've got a lot of different invert tricks here, which wastes quite a bit of time, which is unfortunate. You can do like double tap variations, but I don't remember what they are, and I'm too lazy to learn them. But it would be good in an instance like this to learn them, admittedly. So yeah, that wasn't good luck, but you know, it's whatever. And then this one, the goal spawns you here for some reason, so you just smack right into that wall, which is very strange. I don't know why you would do that, but you just got to get 50k points, which is pretty easy. And then here you pick a pro team. We're just going to pick the first 5. Give a thing. Well, let's call it ESA. Why not? Usually you just mash that, but we'll call it ESA. And then now we take control of a bunch of pros. You can see they look tiny now in comparison to, you know, Big Lion. So Bob Burnquist looks like he's like 3 feet tall. But essentially we just do a bunch of cool stuff with all the pros, which is quite a nice section. So here we just wait until 40, and then we let go. Nice and easy. And then this one here, it's a bunch of different Tony Hawk challenges that you do as Tony Hawk. And if you fail any of them, it puts you all the way back to the start. So it's got to make sure to not make any mistakes here. So these 2 you just do mix-it-ups into semi-flips. And then the last one you can just bonus 180 judo. Nice, that's good. So you can lose a lot of time if you fail like right at the end there. And then this challenge is completely humanly impossible. If you dropped into a height like that, you would 100% break every bone in your body.
Have you ever tried?
I've never tried. Have you ever
How do
tried?
you know? No.
How do I know? I mean, good point. I should try it, you know, when I get home.
You mean to tell me video games aren't real?
Video games are not real. I'm sorry.
Dang.
Aw.
Sorry to all the, you know, the kids out there who thought that they were real the whole
So
time.
disappointed.
Unfortunate. But yeah, so remember that frame perfect trick that I described all the way back at the start? That's called vid skip, and essentially when we get into the last goal here, it's not enough points. There we go, that's enough. This final goal here, once we complete it, it'll give us an option to save the game, and as soon as we press that we don't want to save, it's possible to open the start menu before a long-ass video comes up, and it takes like 15-20 seconds. But if you press start or enter, as I'm going to do it, and then escape, at the right frame, it's frame perfect, so let's give this a go. What? No, didn't get it, unfortunate. So we missed both the hard tricks, because I'm not a very good player, but that's, you know, unfortunate. But yeah, you can skip this video here. An ESA video, or a ESA video. So we'll just mash through this. And then this is the final section of the game. This is what I was talking about, where Eric, you finally meet him, and he becomes a wizard, and he starts throwing fire at you for some odd reason. So you'll see here, he just starts like launching fire at you. And he's like, you know, you can't skate with me, but as long as you follow him and collect all the collectibles, then you're good to go. So time will be once I collect the final one, the 41st one. And the rest of this is just pure movement and making sure you don't fall off. Because there's a lot of grinding across like high wires and stuff like that. And falling off can be quite bad. Because sometimes, depending on the place, you can't always recover really well. So something to also mention while we're doing this is I've also made sure to stay out of switch stance as much as possible. I probably should have mentioned this earlier because it's like used throughout all the run. But I forgot. So I'm staying out of switch stance because your speed stats that I mentioned before are only in regular. The switch stat actually affects your speed in switch stance. So I don't go as fast as I usually do whenever I'm in switch. So what I want to do is make sure I'm out of switch into regular stance. And unfortunately missed a jump there. Sometimes you can lose that kicker, which is kind of annoying. But this is thankfully one where you can recover pretty fast. Only loses a few seconds. And then you carry on. But yeah, so you can get a lot of speed if you increase your stats. You stay out of switch, and you keep the special meter high. So the last few ones coming up here, just air out, and then grab it, ollie, and time.
GG. Boo!
Oh,
Don't
they
boo the
loved it.
finish. Oh, they're booing because they don't want it to end. Oh, I see. But yeah, that's Tony Hawk's Underground, the first real story of Tony Hawk's. Really strange, but Big Lion's made it through. He's now the best skateboarder ever, thanks to me, thanks to us, thanks to ESA, and that lovely video that we made. He becomes the greatest skateboarder ever. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in Tony Hawk's speedruns, there's a whole community dedicated to it. I have guides. I don't have guides on this game, but Rushy, who's the world record holder, shout outs to him because he retaught me a lot of the new stuff in this game when I came back to it, once I got it accepted into ESA. He has a guide that I would hugely recommend to learn this game. Or if you want to learn other games, there's plenty of other resources, like Thug 2 and Thor I have guides on, for example. There's this Discord, all that regular stuff, you know, speedrun.com. But yeah, any final words?
No, not from me.
No?
The run speaks for itself, I think.
The run speaks for itself. It does indeed. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and have fun. Enjoy the next run.
Kicking the toddy smooth boy. But, hey, you know,